right, hello everybody and welcome to yoga. My name is Tess and I'll be taking you through this practice today. We're going to go for about 45 minutes here. We're going to start in a seated position today. You can either start with your legs crossed, or if it's more comfortable, you can stretch those feet out in front of you. Good, just starting to get comfortable here. Good, getting ready here. Just taking a moment, finding your space. Good, so if you have a mat today, find yourself on the center of your mat. You can use a towel, blanket, or you can just use the floor, whatever is most comfortable for you today. We're starting seated. Then we're gonna start kind of rocking back and forth. We wanna find those sit bones, so the bony part underneath our hips here. We wanna plant those into the ground. We wanna stay nice and tall in our spine here. Then we wanna lengthen through the back of our neck. So we're pretending someone's got a string at the top of the back of our head and they're pulling us up nice and tall. Shoulders are down and back, hands are relaxed either on our knees or at our sides. Legs are crossed or feet are straight out forward, whichever is more comfortable for you. Good, and then we're just gonna softly close our eyes here. Starting to think about our breathing here and noticing our breath flowing in and out of our mouths. Taking this time to let everything else just fade away. All of our other tasks, our priorities, our to-do lists. Knowing that they'll all be there when we return, but taking this time to recharge so that we can come back at them with an improved mind, improved body. Starting to set an intention for our practice today. Thinking about what's going to motivate you and drive you through this practice, whether it be a need to quiet your mind, a moment for relaxation, reassurance, motivation. Find what you need most today. And during our practice, if you begin to struggle, come back to this intention. Come back to why you're doing this practice today. Coming back to our breath here. Inhaling, filling those lungs. Exhale, releasing that air. As we inhale, we breathe in through the nose, warming that breath. As we exhale, breathing out our mouth, using force and power to exhale that breath. If at any time this breathing isn't comfortable for you, if you'd rather breathe out through your nose than your mouth, go ahead and do that. Do what feels good for your body. If deep breaths are a little bit too much for you right now, find a rate that's good. As long as we keep breathing, we're paying attention, listening to our body. That's what we're aiming for right now. Taking a big deep breath in and holding at the top here. 3, 2, 1, and release that breath out. One more time, we breathe in, we hold at the top, filling those lungs. 2, 1, we release. Once again, finding that posture, we place one hand on our chest and one hand on our belly. We think about our lungs in three portions, one near our bottom hand at our belly, one in the middle at our rib cage, and one at the top at our cup hand near our chest. As we inhale, we fill from the bottom to the middle to the top. As we exhale, we release from the top to the middle to the bottom, controlling that breath here. Bringing our minds solely on our breath here. Picturing that breath flowing in and out of our lungs in each portion here. And one more time here. Good. We release our hands down to our sides, blinking our eyes open here. As we inhale, our hands are going to come up and around. Meeting at the top, palms meet. We let our shoulders come down and relax. We create that space on either side of our head. And as we exhale, we're going to come over to our left side here, keeping that space, keeping that chest open, opening up that right side. Good. Shoulders are down and back. We're trying to keep parallel as we lean to the side, pretending there's a wall in front and behind us. Inhale, we rise back up. And exhale, we come over to the right side, feeling that left side open up. Keeping that space around the head. Inhale, we rise back up. Exhale, our hands fall to the side. Good, we adjust that posture once more, sitting nice and tall. We either have our legs crossed or they're straight out in front of us, whichever is more comfortable. What we're gonna do is switch which foot is in front if we have our feet crossed. So we uncross and recross the opposite way. And as we inhale, we're gonna find that nice long spine, that length through the back of our neck. And as we exhale, we're going to keep that back nice and flat, and we're going to gently lean forward just slightly here. Keeping that chest open, that chin forward. Inhale, we lengthen that spine. Exhale, maybe we sink a little bit further, still keeping nice and flat through that spine. On our next inhale, we take a big, deep breath. We hold at the top for just a moment. And exhale, we let ourselves fall forward, letting our forehead come down to the mat. Feeling the stretch through our hips. If this is a bit too much of a stretch, we can make two fists and stack one hand on top of the other. And we can rest our forehead there. Modifying this as needed. On our next inhale, we're going to roll our spine up, starting from the bottom to the top. The last thing that comes up is our head. Good. If you have your legs straight out, we're going to leave them right where they're at. If your feet are crossed, once more, we're going to switch those feet. Sitting nice and tall, nice back flat, nice flat back, excuse me. We inhale, we lengthen that spine. Exhale, we reach forward, keeping that chest open, that back nice and flat. Lengthening that spine. Inhale, we hold that breath at the top. Exhale, we fall forward once more. Continuing with our breath here. Maybe reaching those fingertips a little bit further. inhale, we roll ourselves up from the bottom to the top, ending at our head. Good. And staying in this seated position, again with your feet crossed or legs extended, feel free to change as you need to. Find what feels better for you. We're gonna work on our neck a little bit here. So what we're gonna do is take our left ear and we're gonna bring it to our left shoulder, towards our left shoulder as far as we can. Whatever's comfortable here. Good, we should feel a nice stretch through the right side of our neck. To get a deeper stretch here, we take our right shoulder, we're gonna push it down towards the ground. Good, we're gonna feel that stretch intensify here. Continuing to breathe through. Breathe into this tension and exhale, pull that tension back out. On our next exhale, we're gonna let our chin come forward towards our chest, keeping that left ear towards our shoulder. Feeling this stretch shift. Again, we can push that shoulder down towards the ground or leave it relaxed. We want to check in with our left shoulder. It's going to kind of want to scoot up towards it. You want to leave that left shoulder just completely relaxed here. Good, and as we inhale, we're going to bring our head back to the center, still with that ear towards the left shoulder. And our next exhale, we're going to bring that head back gently. Again, listening to our body, doing what feels good, adjusting as we need to. Maybe it doesn't feel very comfortable to have our head back in this position, so we just leave it to the side. Inhale, we bring our head back. That ear meets towards the shoulder. Staying here for one more breath. And then our next inhale, we bring our head back up. Good, coming to the other side. We check our posture once more, making sure we're nice and tall. Exhale, that right ear comes to right shoulder. Good, finding the level of intensity for the stretch that works for you today. Having that option to bring that left shoulder and pushing it down. Making sure we're keeping that right shoulder nice and relaxed here. It's gonna wanna scoot up towards our ear. We just wanna let it be. Good, you might notice that you get a little bit more distance on this side, or maybe you get a little bit less distance. That's totally normal. Oftentimes we're not gonna have equal balance between each side of our body. And just becoming aware of that. Good, on our next exhale, we're gonna let that chin come forward, keeping that ear to the right side. Feeling this stretch rotate more towards the back of our neck. Again, finding the level of intensity that's good for you this morning. Good, and inhale, we come back to center, right ear towards right shoulder. And exhale, we bring that chin up slightly, rotating that head back. Left shoulder pushing down. Inhale, we rotate that chin back forward, holding just for a moment here to the side. And inhale, our head comes up. Good, nice job. We're gonna go ahead and swing our feet around and we're gonna meet in a tabletop position here. So we're making sure that our hips are over our knees. We've got our shoulders over our wrists. Our fingers are spread nice and wide. We're pushing through each fingertip to disperse that weight a little bit off of our wrists here. Good, we wanna make sure that our abdominal muscles are engaged. So maybe we come into a few little pelvic tilts here. So just the very end of our spine, that tailbone is gonna curl under, and then we're gonna hold it right there. Good, and as we inhale, trying to keep that pelvic tilt, we're gonna move into cow where we let that belly sink. So keeping those abdominal muscles engaged, our chin raises as we fill our lungs, we let our chest open. And exhale, we round that spine, releasing all of that air, separating those shoulder blades in the back. Inhale, we come once more into cow, opening up that chest, bringing that tailbone towards the sky. And exhale, we round that spine back into cat. Good, continuing to move through cat-cow here at your own pace. Follow your own breath here. Trusting the pace that your body presents to you today. Good, and on our next inhale, we're gonna come into a flat back. Finding that pelvic tilt again. And as we inhale, our right foot is gonna press back behind us, toes point towards the ground. We're going for length over height here, and we're pushing through that right heel. And as we inhale, that left hand is gonna stretch forward, coming into a spinal balance here. We have the option to either bring our pinky or our big toe very gently onto the ground to help with stability, but trying to challenge ourselves to stay up into this balance here. Using the core muscles, engaging your abdominal muscles. Exhale, we release back down. Inhale, our left foot comes up back behind us, pushing through the heels, toes point down. We push up through that left hand and our right hand comes forward. Breathing here, finding a stable, steady point on the ground to focus on. Finding that stability. Pushing back through that heel, reaching forward through those fingertips. Continuing to breathe here with balance. It's really easy for us to hold our breath. Exhale, we release back down. Alternating each of these sides, we're going to inhale and exhale from one hand to the other hand, with our legs extending behind us. On our inhale, we do right foot, left hand, reaching out. Exhale, we plant back down. Inhale, we come to the other side. We're almost coming into this march, alternating each side with our breath. Inhale, we extend. Exhale, we release back down. Good, kind of walking this out side to side. Keeping that core, trying to keep those hips nice and stable. They're gonna wanna rock side to side. Doing a few more here. Good, and on our next exhale, we're gonna plant back down, find that tabletop. Good, and we're gonna exhale and sit back onto our feet here. Good, so giving our wrists just a moment here to stretch out. We're gonna start by rolling our wrists. Good, just rolling in circles. Good, and then go ahead and go the opposite direction. Good, if this is uncomfortable for your legs, go ahead and move to a seated position, whatever feels good. Good, and next what we're gonna do is bring our hands onto the ground like a fist. We're gonna roll them forward as much as comfortable here. Just letting the tops of those hands stretch out. Good, and you can lean back for a little bit more of a stretch. Good, we flip those hands so the fingertips are pointed towards each other here. Good, and then we go ahead and gently bring them forward. We might have them pointed towards each other a little bit, and that's totally fine. Good. And next we're gonna bring them and we're gonna stretch forward just a little bit here. Maybe we rock in and out of this stretch. Good. Rolling them out. Anything else that you need to do that will feel good? And we're gonna move into our first down dog. So we're gonna come back into tabletop first before we transition there. Fingertips nice and wide. Toes curl under. Exhale, we reach up and back. Good. With our down dog, our fingertips are spread nice and wide. We have a slight bend in those elbows. We feel those upper back muscles start to engage. Our shoulders are pushing away from our ears. We have our abdominal muscles engaged. We're pushing our chest back towards our knees. Our heels are reaching back towards the ground. Hips are lifted up and back. Go ahead and start to alternate. We walk out the dog here. Alternating, pressing your heels into the ground, bending the other knee. Good, and we'll go ahead and find stillness here. And moving through a vinyasa flow, we'll move through a modified flow first, and then I'll show you a full flow. As we inhale, we shift forward, dropping our knees into kneeling plank. Exhale, we lower. We have knees. We come to our chest and then our chin. Inhale, we come into baby cobra, pushing those shoulders back behind us. And exhale, we rise back into that kneeling plank, shifting right into down dog. Good, that's our option 1. Option 2, we can mix and match each of these. Inhale, we shift forward, coming into a full tall plank. Exhale, we lower chaturanga, elbows close, we hover the ground. Inhale, we swoop up, coming into upward facing dog. We lift our bodies so our legs come off, we're on the tops of our feet. And exhale, we come to down dog. Good, so we're gonna move through a few rounds of this vinyasa, finding what feels good for you. Maybe we change up if we do a kneeling or full plank. As we inhale, we come forward, kneeling or full plank. Exhale, we lower chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, we either come into baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, we come back to down dog. Good, inhale, tall plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, we lower chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale, we come up upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale to down dog. Good, move through this 2 more times at your own pace, and we'll meet back in down dog. Following your breath for these movements. Meeting back in down dog when you're ready. Inhale, we shift forward into tabletop. We bring the backs of those feet down, big toes meet, knees come a little bit wider. Exhale, we come back into child's pose. Hips sit over the knees, forehead rests on the mat or the ground. Arms stretch out forward, shoulders relax, and melt down towards the mat. Inhale, we shift forward into tabletop once more. Exhale, we flip those feet coming into down dog. Our right foot reaches up into the sky. Exhale, we bring our gaze forward. We step that foot through, planting, adjusting as we need to so that our big toe is past our knee. Good, we're nice and flat through our spine. We plant our back foot so it's at a diagonal angle. Our heels are in line or a little bit separated. Inhale, we find a flat back, horizontal to the ground. Inhale, we rise all the way up, warrior 1. Good, we're pushing our weight forward into that front heel, keeping that knee behind the toe, and keeping our knees straight in line with our toes. We're pushing through the outer edge of our front and back feet, and our left hip is pushing forward. Shoulders are down and back, arms extended tall. We can either bring our hands also into heart center or down to the side, whichever is comfortable for you. Holding here. Exhale, arms come out and around, swan dive down. We bring that back heel up. That back leg is straightened and we come into a deep hip flexor stretch here. We have the option to bring our knee down in the back if that's more comfortable for you. Good, we're pushing those hips forward and down, really stretching out that left hip flexor, the front of our hip here. Our left hand plants inside the right foot, and our right hand opens up to the side. Good, feeling that twist in your hips and your spine. Exhale, we plant that right hand down. As we inhale, we shift those hips back. Our back foot plants again into that angle. We're gonna take our right hand and put on the inside of our right foot and open up to the left. Good, extended triangle here. Feeling that stretch through our left hamstring, the back of that left leg. Bringing our gaze up to the sky. Chest stays open. Exhale, we plant the left hand back down. Inhale, we shift back forward into that kneeling plank. We open up that back foot and plant it out towards the side. And inhale, we're gonna cartwheel those hands around, meeting into warrior two. Our heels are aligned, our front knee is in the same direction as our toes. It's tracking over that ankle. Hips are tucked under, shoulders are down and back, arms are long, our gaze comes over our front middle finger, our warrior two. Pushing through the outer edge of that back foot. Good, inhale, we flip our front hand, we reach forward, exhale, we come up and over, reverse warrior. Back hand meets either at our thigh or our shin, avoiding that knee joint. Bringing our gaze up towards the sky, making sure that front knee is still over that foot, making sure it's not caving in. Exhale, we cartwheel those arms around, right forearm meets right thigh. Arm comes up and over, extended side angle. Good, for a little bit of an added challenge here, we take that right hand and we reach it out forward in front of us, in the direction that our face is. Exhale, if we have that arm forward, we return it back on that thigh, we sink a little bit deeper. Inhale, we come back into that warrior two. Exhale, we cartwheel those hands down, framing that right foot. Back heel comes up once more, stretching that hip flexor. Good, right foot steps back to meet left, coming into down dog. And next we'll move through our vinyasa, shifting forward, tall plank or kneeling plank. Exhale, shift that weight forward, we lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, or upward facing dog. Exhale, we shift back into down dog. On our next inhale, our left foot comes up towards the sky. We bring our gaze forward. Exhale, we step that foot forward, adjusting as we need to, using our hands or crawling that foot forward. Feeling that nice deep stretch in our front hip flexor. Finding our breath again. We plant that back foot. Inhale, flat back. Rise all the way up. Warrior one, we're pushing through the outer edge of both feet. Right hip pushes forward. Left knee is in line with the left toes. Shoulders are down and back. Arms are strong. We sink a little deeper. Exhale, our left hand comes to meet the ground. Right arm comes up towards the sky. Good, and planting our hands back down to frame that foot. Our back foot comes forward. Our back heel comes up. We shift forward, stretching that hamstring flexor. Planting our right hand inside our left foot. Our left hand comes up towards the sky. Bringing that gaze up towards the ceiling for an added balance challenge here. Exhale, we plant that hand back down. Inhale, we shift that weight back, finding length in that front leg. Both toes are pointed forward. Left hand comes inside left foot. We open up for extended triangle. Pushing our hips up and back. Chest is open, shoulders are down and back. Exhale, we plant those hands back down, framing that front foot. We find a bend in our knee once more. Good, coming again into that hip flexor stretch, hips point, or hips come forward and down. We can drop that back knee if that's more comfortable. We open up our back foot, inhale, our hands come up and around. Coming into warrior two, pushing through the outer edge of both of our feet, front knee is straight over those toes, hips are tucked under, shoulders are down and back, gaze comes over our front middle finger. We sink a little deeper, warrior two. Coming back to our breath, inhale, we reach forward, exhale, we come up and over, reverse warrior. Our right hand's meeting either our shin or thigh, making sure we're not right on that knee joint. Thinking about that left knee, make sure it's not curved, it's not collapsing in, so right over that ankle. Inhale, we cartwheel around, left forearm meets left thigh. We sink a little bit deeper. Right arm comes up and over, coming into extended side angle. We have that option to take that left hand, reach it in the direction of our gaze. Feel those abdominal muscles, oblique muscles, our whole core engaged. Good, the arms extended, we place it back down. Exhale, we frame that front foot, back heel comes forward. This time our right foot's gonna step forward to meet our left. Coming into a forward fold. Inhale, we come up flat back. Exhale, we fold all the way down. Good, bringing a slight bend in your knees. We're gonna bring our big toes together to meet. Our knees come close. We're gonna sink those hips down a little bit further. As we inhale, we're gonna come to a flat back. Arms come up and forward as we meet into chair pose. Sitting back into this pose here, knees stay behind the toes. Good, we're thinking down and back with those hips. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, hands fall down towards the side. Good, coming into mountain pose here. We're standing nice and tall, we're finding a stable base. So what we're gonna do is bring our foot up, right foot on our toes. We're gonna roll side to side until we find a point where we have even balance on the inside and outside of our foot. And then we're gonna plant down on our heel. And then we're gonna do that for the left foot as well. Plant that foot. Good, we have our nice stable base through our feet. Next, what we're gonna do is engage those quad muscles. So we wanna think about pulling our knees up. So our legs are nice and engaged. We're gonna come into that pelvic tilt. So we're feeling those lower abdominal muscles begin to engage. We're standing nice and tall here in our spine. We're extending through the back of our neck. Our shoulders are down and back, palms face forward with fingers spread slightly. Good, and we engage those arm muscles. So we're pushing those hands down, a little bit out here. Everything from the neck down is engaged and strong here with our body. And we let our face just start to relax. Good, if you feel comfortable doing so, if you feel comfortable with your balance, go ahead and let your eyes close for a moment here. Coming back to your breath, back to your intention. And if your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink them open gently. Good. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to shift our weight over to our left foot as we come into tree pose today. We have a lot of different options for tree pose. We can leave our foot so our toes meet at the base of the ground. We can bring our foot onto our calf just below our knee, or we can bring that foot all the way up onto our inner thigh, just making sure that we're avoiding that point at our knee joint so we're not adding pressure there. So thinking about what's gonna be good for you, one side might be different than the other. We're gonna begin to shift that weight onto our left leg. We're standing tall, we're coming to that pelvic tilt, engaging our core, and that's gonna be the base of our stability, is our core right here. So we bring our knee up forward. Good, we rotate that foot out. And then we begin to bring that foot at what point is going to be comfortable for us. Good, a couple options here for our arms. We can either bring them down out to the side. We can bring them to heart center. Or we can bring them up like branches into the air for tree pose. Then our right knee points out. We have a slight bend in that left leg, helping keep that leg strong. Good, we find a point that's still. We focus on that point as we breathe here. Again, for an added challenge, if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes for a moment here. Good, pushing that right knee out towards the side. And with our next exhale, our hands come down, our knee comes forward, and we go ahead and drop that foot. Good, roll out that left ankle, those toes, get all those creaks and those cracks out. And we're gonna move to the other side. So preparing that right side, we start to bring our weight over to the right. Good. We bring that foot forward, knee turns out to the side, and then we find a point that's going to be most comfortable for us. Slight bend in that right knee. Abdominal muscles are engaged. That's the center of our stability. And then our arms either come out towards our side, palms forward to heart center, or we bring them up with our branches. Again, having that option to close our eyes, planting that foot, finding that base that we set in mountain pose just a moment ago. Breathing through this here. Inhale, our hands lower, our knee comes forward, our toes meet the ground, and we roll out that right ankle. Good. All right, as we inhale, our hands are gonna come up and around. Exhale, we're gonna come to a slight bend in our knees, our hips shift back, and we swan dive forward, hinging from the hips, keeping that back nice and flat. Good, we step our right foot back, and then our left into tall plank. And we lower those knees, coming into tabletop. Big toes meet, and for a moment, we come into our child's pose once more, arms reaching forward. Inhale, we walk our hands back. Good, coming to a seated position once more, either feet crossed or legs extended in staff pose in front of us. Inhale, our hands come up, shoulders stay down. Exhale, we come over to our left side. Right arm comes up and over, keeping that space between our shoulder and our ear. Slowly crawling that right hand out, but making sure both of those sit bones are still planted on the ground. Feeling if there's a difference in that right side as we stretch here from our beginning pose. Inhale, we come back up towards the sky. Exhale, we come over to the right side. Again, keeping that space. Shoulders are down and back still. Inhale, we rise back up. Exhale, we bring those hands back down to our sides. We're gonna make our way into a lying position on our mat. So supporting ourselves as we come down to our back. We're gonna leave our feet planted onto the ground, knees up towards the sky. We're gonna inhale and curl just the very end of our pelvis under, coming in, or our tailbone under, coming into that pelvic tilt. Holding here for just a moment. And on our next inhale, we're gonna push through our heels, engaging our glute muscles and lifting our hips towards the sky. Good, our knees are staying in line with our toes. They might wanna fall out or in. We wanna keep them nice and stable. We're tucking under that tailbone, really feeling those glute muscles, those butt muscles engaged. We feel a little bit of our abdominal muscles working. And exhale, one vertebrae at a time, we're gonna roll our spine back onto the ground. Good. We're going to let our knees fall side to side, windshield wiper here. Loosen up those hips, that back. Good. And go ahead and bring those knees back up towards the sky. We're going to take our right foot, cross it over onto the left thigh. If this is a good enough stretch, we leave it right here. If not, we take our hands around that right thigh. We pull it in a little bit closer. We flex our left toes in. Good. And if you feel it's for you, we can rock side to side here as well again. Good. Feeling that pressure here. Release in our hips. Trying to relax that low back. Good. If we're in movement, we find stillness. If we have those hands around our right thigh, we go ahead and relax them back down. And then we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. Left ankle meets right, or right ankle meets left thigh. If this is a good enough stretch, we stay here. If not, we pull in that left thigh, flexing the right foot. And once again, if you feel it's right for you, we begin to rock side to side. Letting our breathing slow here. Good. If we're moving, we come and find stillness. And exhale, we release that foot back down. We bring both of our knees into our chest, grasping in behind our knees. Good. Enough so we still keep that low back on the ground. We rock side to side once more. Finding this calming motion here. Maybe closing our eyes at this point. Good. We go ahead and exhale and bring both of our feet onto our mat. We extend those legs out. We let our legs relax, just letting our feet fall out towards the side. Our arms are out to the side, with our palms facing up towards the ceiling. We tuck those shoulder blades under. If they're not already, we let our eyes close as we prepare ourselves for our final relaxation, Shavasana. Coming into a full body relaxation. As we talk through these points, often when we want to relax, we start to shake out our legs or arms. We want to try to avoid that. We're bringing more movement, more blood flow. We want to try to just relax here. We start by relaxing our toes, our feet, especially the arches. We relax our calves, our thighs, both the front quadricep and back hamstring muscles. We relax our hips. We relax our fingertips, letting them curl in naturally. Relaxing our palms, our wrists, our forearms, our upper arms, our bicep and tricep muscles. Relax our shoulders, our neck. Relax our chin, bringing the tension out of our jaw, bringing our tongue away from the roof of our mouth. Relaxing our cheeks. Relaxing our forehead, the space between our eyes and all of the little muscles that surround our eyes. As we come into complete stillness, letting our body melt into the mat, letting ourselves just be in this moment. Letting our breath flow naturally. Letting our mind wander. Continuing that breath here. As we begin to come out of our Shavasana, we begin by wiggling our fingers and our toes, letting our arms start to roll side to side, maybe letting your head fall side to side. We bring our knees up towards the sky, planting our feet, and we fall either over to the left or the right side into fetal position, knee over knee, palm over palm, using our hands as a pillow. Coming into this position, representing a new beginning after every practice. Appreciating the time we spent renewing our mind and body. And when you're ready, we push ourselves up into a seated position once more. Again, feet crossed or legs extended, whichever is more comfortable. Good, we sit nice and tall. As we inhale, we take one final breath in together. Our palms meet, and as we exhale, our palms lower, stopping first at our forehead, reminding ourselves to think our best thoughts. Bringing our thumbs to our lips, reminding ourselves to speak our best words. And bringing our thumbs to heart center, reminding ourselves to live our best lives. I want to thank you for joining me in this practice today. The love, the light, and the strength in me shines through and acknowledges the love, the light, and the strength in you. Namaste.